Welcome to a realm beyond reality. My name's John, and I'm a writer. In this channel, I tell some of my original short stories. So take a deep breath, settle in, and enjoy the journey. This is Potent Ink. Painting dreams. I sip coffee at my desk, enjoying its bitter burn. My manager drops a pile of documents on the table. He gives me a nod, a wordless apology for making me stay late tonight. Life used to be more than just moving cells around the spreadsheet. Identical rectangles that stretch up and down, left and right, forever and ever. I am never satisfied, and neither are the rectangles. I walk home in the dark. The streetlights cast an orange glow, and all I see are the potholes and broken windows. At this time of night, the stores are closed, and the restaurants are turning their patrons out, wiping down tables and carrying furniture indoors. "Hey, you," a voice calls out. It is an elderly lady, and she is walking towards me. "I'd best be getting home," I say, stumbling past her. "We're offering free painting lessons," she calls after me. I pause for a second, before hurrying away. "We'll be here tomorrow if you change your mind," she says. When I get home, I tell my husband about the painting classes. "You should go," Andrew says. "You used to love painting. And besides, you are so good at it." The next evening, the woman approaches me again. And this time, I smile and follow her to a crumbling storefront. One of the windows is boarded up, and the other is caked with mold. Mounted above the store is a sign that reads, "Dream Stroke Studios." Inside, a chandelier dangles from the ceiling, and paintings hang from heavy gold frames. Men and women hunch over their easels, faces stretched in concentration. I fetch a brush from the rack and settle down behind my canvas. They had once called me talented. In college, my paintings had won awards. They had been sold in galleries. Now, as I run my brush over the fabric, I feel like a child scratching out a drawing with a broken crayon. "Patience," the old lady says, placing a steaming cup of tea on the table next to me. "One cannot rush the creation of dreams." At work, I endure the small talk of my peers, and the mindless shuffle of words and numbers that pass through my desktop computer. I pity my colleagues, their complacency, their lack of ambition. When the sun sets and I leave my grey carpeted prison, I transform. I become a creator. I leave the office early and paint in the studio until daybreak. I barely sleep. I forget to eat and feel the skin tightening around my bones. Instead, I find nourishment in my art. I am fed by the moonlight that trickles through the studio's dirty windows. One night, after returning at 5 a.m, Andrew is waiting for me. "Where were you?" he asks. "I was worried sick about you." I am tired and I snap at him. I tell him that he wouldn't understand, and that he has given up on his dreams. I go straight to bed and don't give him a chance to respond. The next morning, I feel ashamed about the way that I acted. I want to be a better wife, so I return home early and prepare dinner, Andrew's favourite dishes. But as we settle down to eat, I find the conversation tedious. Andrew talks about the new brand of dishwasher tablets he purchased, and the bus driver who was rude to him. I stare at one of my paintings on the wall behind him, and I long for the quiet of the studio. It is not long before I return to my art. I paint flowers, I paint animals, I paint people. One day, I reach over to fetch a brush and find that there are none left. The owner pulls one from her jacket pocket and offers it to me. "This is a very special brush," she says, "but I'd like you to have it. For your next piece, don't paint something you see in the studio. Instead, paint something you love." The brush handle is cheap plastic, but its bristles are fine like spun sugar and as firm as pencil lead. As my brush glides across the canvas, it twists and tightens to create beautiful textures and details. When I am done, I see Andrew smiling back at me. Not the grumpy, overbearing husband that counts every cent in our bank account, but the passionate, caring Andrew I knew from my youth. Paint something you love, the instructor told me. And I did. I capture his thin smile and the way his cheekbones lift off his face when he laughs. What a handsome man, the owner remarks. He is perfect, I reply. As I pack my bag to leave, I think I see the Andrew in my painting tilt his head. But when I look closer, he is perfectly still. I carry the painting home and hide it in the closet. The next morning, as I'm getting ready for work, I hear a voice calling from the closet, and I think Andrew is trying to scare me. But I realize he has already left. His jacket is missing from the coat rack. Shaking, I grab a slipper and slide open the closet door. There is no one inside, but again, I hear a voice. Andrew's voice. "Lucy," he says, "I've missed you." My painting is talking to me. I don't go to work that day, nor the next day, nor the next week. I sit by my closet and talk to the Andrew in my painting. We speak of better times, of what might have been. He tells me how millions of people will see my work. I tell him that millions will read his novels. I get a call from work to tell me that I am fired. But I don't care. I despise that place and everyone who works there. They don't have vision like Andrew and I do. I return to the studio and paint more portraits of Andrew. In each one, he is the young dreamer I once knew. In each one, he is perfect. One day, my husband comes home early and stands by the bedroom door, watching. It is a few minutes before I notice him. "What are you doing?" he asks me. He lifts up one of the portraits of his younger self and inspects it. The Andrew in the portrait is talking to him, but my husband ignores him completely. "Why are you talking to a picture of me, Lucy?" my husband asks. I break down and start crying. Then, I tell him the truth. I tell him how the portrait started talking to me, how I lost my job, how I've been spending the past few weeks sitting by the closet, just talking. My husband hands me the painting. "Can you not hear him talking, Andrew?" I ask him. "No, Lucy," he replies. "I can't believe you've been lying to me all this time. I love you, but you need to get help." He leaves through the front door. Still dressed in my pajamas, I march down to the studio. The entrance is boarded up, and through the windows, it looks like its interior has been completely gutted. A group of teenagers sit on the doorstep smoking cigarettes. One of them laughs at me, so I take the owner's paintbrush out of my pocket, snap it in half, and toss the shards of plastic at him. When I get home, I retrieve all of my paintings of Andrew from the closet. There are more than 20 in total, and I lay them out on the kitchen counters and against the walls. They begin talking to one another, smiling and laughing as they always do. I tell them to shut up, but they keep talking. I retrieve a kitchen knife from the drawer and begin to cut them. The fabric tears easily. They howl in protest, begging me to stop. I turn on the vacuum cleaner to drown out the noise and continue to slash at Andrew's youthful faces until they are just shreds of painted cloth, scattered across the tiled floor. I call Andrew the next day and apologize. He moves back in. I clean up as best I can, but even now, I still find pieces of Andrew all over the kitchen. An eyebrow by the stove, teeth in the sink, even an eye watching me from the toaster. I am seeing a therapist now, and I have candid conversations with Andrew about my dreams, my hopes, my ambitions. He has been nice about it, and tells me he understands why I feel the way I do. I started a new job. It's still in an office, but the people are nicer. Some I can even call my friends. When we sit down to eat, I make sure I listen to Andrew when he talks about his day. He really notices things, not just mundane occurrences, but beautiful details too. Like the way the neighbor's dog is waiting for her by the fence at exactly 6 o'clock every evening, panting and shaking with excitement. When Andrew laughs, his cheekbones slowly lift off his face, just like they always have. For the first time in my life, I noticed the little details too. The warm hug of a woolen scarf, the refreshing tang of a lemonade on a summer's day, the beauty in everyday miracles. I've started painting again, and Andrew has resumed his writing. I paint the things that I love, and that involves capturing the beautiful imperfections I see every day. I am an artist, but I'm also just Lucy, and that is more than enough on its own. Thanks for joining us on Potent Ink Short Stories. If you enjoyed painting dreams, drop a like and hit subscribe for more videos like this one. Catch you in the next story.